Boy.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel,
The Parchment Fam.
Alright, and we have another video for you today. So today we are going to talk about before we actually get into the video, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Kieran and this is my wife
Jessica.
Alright, and we are the Parchment Fam.
Yes.
Welcome to the channel if it's your first time. Okay, and if
back.
you're our regular viewers, welcome back to our channel. Alright, and we do, as usual, have some information, what I call it now?
Entertaining, educational,
yeah, we have
informational,
entertaining
all
videos,
kind of stuff.
educational, travel, food, cooking, a lot of different varieties of videos on our channel, and this is just an addition that you're gonna enjoy. Alright, so let's get into the video.
So you know, we're expecting baby number 4, so a lot of our videos coming up, you know, is just gonna kind of be surrounded around that until baby gets here. It's almost time. So today, you know, you guys ask, how does my husband feel about me having a home birth? I did the last video I did was showing the stuff that I'm going to be using in my home birth, and you know, you guys like, oh, so how does my husband, what does he have to say about all this, you know? So today he's gonna respond to that, right? So just to get you catch up, you know, if you don't know, I've had 1 hospital birth and 2 birth center birth. Now a home birth is not really much different from a birth center birth, in my opinion, and I've always wanted to experience it, but for the first 2 I was like, nah, I didn't want to do it here. But now I'm like, might as well. We never really expect to have another one, but we're gonna have, like, might as well have a home birth. And of course I had to get him on board. But since I already got him on board to the whole birth center, I think as the first time when I told him about me having a baby in a birth center, you remember? I think that was the real response right there when I told him that I'm gonna have, you know, I wanted to. One of my coworkers told me about a birth center, and I was like, I had to get him on board. You know, we had to go and do a tour of the birth center, and I had to convince him that it was safe, and I got him on board there. So now let's hear what he has to say.
Alright, let's backtrack a little bit. It was way back in, our first child was born in 2012.
Yes.
He was born at a public hospital, which not far from where we lived.
It's like right beside
us. Which is still our home. But
it's like borderline beside us.
It's like right just a 3-minute walk from our home. So basically he was born in 2012. Seeing everything, it's like common sense. You know, a woman, they are pregnant, they're supposed to go through labor naturally. If there's no complications and the doctor have to say schedule for a C-section or something.
Or emergency C-section.
Yeah, so looking back at it in 2012, when my son was supposed to be born, my wife, actually there was no signs of her going into labor or nothing. But the doctor wanted her to go to the hospital to force labor because in their heads they're thinking, oh, the baby is small.
They were saying that it's too small
and all that kind of stuff. So basically there were no signs, as I mentioned before, of labor, and you had to check into the hospital. Pretty much they force labor on you, and looking at it, it's like that's not naturally how it's supposed to be if you're not having complications. You know, that's how it's supposed to be, and you would decide that you went through it that time and it wasn't the natural way, you know. And you said you wanted to experience the natural way, in which I think in a hospital the natural way is pretty much, regardless if it's a birth center or a hospital. I know the birth center is a place they do it naturally.
And you don't have access to like an epidural or something like that.
So you have to do it naturally. So if that's how it's gonna work for you, mentally not having the resources around you to go around the natural way, then you could do that as long as it's safe. So that was the main concern for me, safety. But seeing how they go about it at the birth center, that they're not just gonna take a pregnant woman, come there and they do all the necessary tests. They pretty much do all the assessments they have to do on the and the mother.
And then the first, well, not to cut out, the first time I was gonna deliver there, they actually have a obstetrician see you and clear you for the birth. The other ones no, because you're already cleared, but the first one you had to get clear. They have their own obstetrician on hand, and you had to get cleared to have the baby there. So that's another thing. They're not just gonna, if you're Irish, they're not gonna do it.
Yeah, so yeah, that's another thing. So basically that's what I thought in my head, that a woman is pregnant, they come here, they're gonna pay, we're gonna deliver a baby, all that stuff. But seeing that they go through all the necessary steps to do all their assessments, all their tests to make sure that the mother is gonna be in good hands. They're health-wise, they check everything, your blood work, make sure you're prepared and you're actually ready for a natural birth without complications. Not saying some stuff cannot happen suddenly,
and they have backup plan for that too.
They also have a backup plan where they have the IVs and everything, and they have to give you fluids. They have hospitals
too that they can
very
take
close
you.
where they pretty much come, they take you to the,
if anything.
Yeah, and for me, seeing that they go through all those routes to make sure it's safe, everything is ready, and delivery should go as smoothly as they pretty much perceived it to be, based on what they present to us and the test results and everything, then I was more comfortable.
And remember, we did that tour.
We also did the tour.
Went through everything, the first time, everything in detail.
Yeah. So doing that tour, they showed us the rooms, the beds, the things they have around where the mother can pretty much get comfortable, do exercises, position themselves the way that makes them feel comfortable and all that. In a hospital, you're gonna be in a bed. No matter what happens to you, you have to be on that bed. Alright, you're stuck on that bed. So they know it. And in this one, they make you go with the flow of your body. They make you walk around. If you want to walk around, bend, you can sit in a tub with water, doing whatever you want to do, and go through labor the way how your body pretty much wants it to. You know, it's not like they're making you do it based on what they want. They make it go based on how your body is working. So that happened with the first one. The first one, we were there, they didn't force, they weren't harsh. They pretty much
the first one that we had at the birth center.
The first one we had at the birth center, they weren't harsh. They pretty much were there. They're more of a support than me, basically. So,
that is true.
Yeah, so they're more of a support than me, because basically they're not gonna tell you too much of what to do. They watch you, see how your body is working, tell you how to go do.
They put stuff on your forehead if you feel hot or whatever. They just
they're very supportive. They go with the flow. They're not gonna force you to do anything. They just the way there's more of an encouraging thing. So that helps a lot, and you're pretty much the comfort. You're very comfortable.
Besides the pain.
Because if the mom wants to be alone a few minutes going through the labor and no one around them trying to make them feel uncomfortable, they leave you alone for a few minutes but they're gonna come back and check on you. And make sure everything's going smooth.
The entire time they're checking your blood pressure, they're checking the fetal heart rate,
they're checking the baby's heart rate, checking everything.
Is fine. So essentially it's the same thing with a home birth, the same exact thing.
Except with the location.
They're gonna come. It's just the location's gonna be different.
And another thing, remember, they had to actually send you something, antibiotic or something, just in case.
Well, I had to get, because I'm always, they have this thing that they test you for later on in your pregnancy called Group B strep. It's a bacteria that you may transfer to the baby. So I'm always positive, so they have to give me IV antibiotics when I'm in labor. So I had to get that the first time. The second time they did not give me, because that midwife, I guess it's a midwife preference, she's like, it's not necessary unless your water actually broke, because the baby's still protected. So I went through labor so fast, the baby was born within like an hour or so I didn't get it that time.
And that was a water birth. The baby was born in a tub full with water. And it's funny how, a baby, they're born in the water, they come out, and if you put them back in here, they can drown. So it's weird. It's just weird.
But it's an experience.
But it's an experience. I saw the baby born. She was underneath the water moving her, floating around in the tub, and then we took her out, and she's.
And he's afraid to catch the babies. I don't know why. See,
I mean,
they give the dad the option to catch the baby when the baby's coming out, and he never wants to do it.
I'm not that comfortable. I mean, I'll cut the cord and everything, but as far as catching the baby, no.
But
all right, but not straying from the topic. So my opinion on the home birth, seeing everything that they do at the birth center, I know it's just the location that's gonna make the difference. That's gonna make a difference. It's not like you're gonna be in a bed just like you're gonna be in a bed there. If you wanna go in a tub, we have a tub.
And they actually have one you can rent too.
Yeah, and basically what they're gonna have all their stuff that they need. They're gonna take that over here at their home, and worst case scenario, the hospital is closer to our home
closer than
where the hospital is from their birth center.
Exactly.
So we're just 2 minutes away from the hospital. So and that's walking, not even driving. So
yeah,
that put me in a comfort zone as well, just in case something happens other than we're not hoping for. Then it's just 2 minutes away from the hospital. So that's what made me comfortable with it, and also seeing it twice at the birth center, to me, is just the only difference is gonna be the location.
Yep.
So there's nothing different that they did there that they can do in the home.
And when you're at home, you're in your own. I mean, it's his opinion, but I'm just saying, when you're at home, it's you're in your own comfort zone. It's your home, so I think it's the best place that you can actually give birth. You're so comfortable
at home.
Yeah,
it's just like home, like some people. It's like working from home, right?
Yeah.
It's like you get up, you know exactly how you move around your house, do whatever you gotta do. You start on time sharp. But if you gotta get up, get ready, go in your car, do all that, you're gonna get demotivated sometimes.
And traffic and all that.
Traffic, just the thought, just the mentality.
And it's the same thing. Like the birth center is like 20 minutes away. 15-20 minutes. It depends on the time of day.
I would say around 20 minutes.
Yeah, depends on the time of day. It could be like 30 minutes. So imagine I go into labor and I have to drive
all the way there. I mean, they do have to get here for the home birth. But you're gonna have. You're gonna know exactly when to let them be here.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I'm comfortable with it based on my knowledge and based on what I saw previously with the other two births that took place at the birth center. Just for me, it's just the location that's it.
I think the only way it would be different is if it was like the very first time, like say it was my first child and I'm having a home birth.
Then it would be very, very hard to agree with that one. It would be very hard.
Yeah, but at this stage in the game, it's like.
Yeah, it's like seeing it more than once. It's like you know what to expect, and if there's anything different from the normal, then you'll definitely.
Hospital's right there.
The hospital is like 2 minutes away, so.
I think that's an added piece of mind.
Yeah, that's an added piece of
mind to have it at home. Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah, there you have it.
Yeah, so there you have it. My opinion. Seeing everything that happened previously, they do all their groundwork to make sure everything is safe, everything is done properly as far as the prep.
Yeah, because like for example,
as far as preparing.
Let me give you a perfect example before we wrap up. I always have low iron like in my pregnancy, and they make sure warn me, they're like, you have to eat your green leafy vegetables, take your iron, because if your iron is not at a certain level, you're not going to be able to deliver either at home or in a birth center, because that's going to exactly, because that's going to make me at risk, because you know you lose a lot of blood after you have baby, and then if I'm going to need a blood transfusion, it wouldn't be readily available. So they were like, oh, your iron has to go up by the time you're like 36 weeks. When they do their last set of labs, my iron has to be up. So that's just an example of the extent to which they go to make sure that everything is okay.
So they do make sure you're ready. We are ready. Yes, ready. They do make sure you're ready, and everything is pretty much intact for you before you actually. You're actually cleared for a home birth, or
cleared and considered,
or to do it at a birth center.
Yep.
So just in case something goes wrong, they're covered. They're pretty much, they did their part.
Yeah.
It's not like they just send you there to at the
I was
birth
like, okay, you want to have a baby at birth, so let's just do it. No, it doesn't work like that.
They do all their necessary groundwork to make sure you're safe. And
and of course things are unforeseen stuff happen, and like we said, they have plan B for that. So
but
that's about it.
we just have to hope for the best, hope for a safe delivery, and everything goes well. And we're always gonna keep you updated on what's going on with the pregnancy, the birth, everything.
I think my biggest thing is that I don't go into labor before time, because they're not gonna deliver you before 37 weeks too. That's the next thing. If you're not 37 weeks, you have to deliver in a hospital, because baby's gonna be considered premature and they're gonna need to be, you know, on ventilation, oxygen and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
and that is
that's the next thing.
Yeah, that is the next thing, and that you cannot blame them for that. That is safety precaution.
Yeah. So let's make it to 37 weeks.
Right. So we're counting down to the 37 weeks. We're gonna keep you updated, keep you posted on what's going on. All right. So that is the end of another video. If you do like what you saw in this video, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn your notification bell on to get notified when we post videos on the channel. And we do have a lot of interesting videos, travel, challenges,
marriage
vlogs, advice, cooking, all kind of different videos we have. So go ahead, check them out and be a part of the family. All right. So for our regular viewers, thank you for tuning in again. For our new viewers, welcome to the channel. All right. Bye.
Bye.